You're too old, and it's too late to start. Has anyone ever said that to you? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's too late to quit. And oh yeah, you're not too old. In fact, the good news is that it's always the right time to start. You've come to the right place. And me and my friends are going to share our stories of why we will never, ever throw in the towel. Welcome to the Too Late to Quit podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Iftikharuddin. Let's go. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Too Late to Quit podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Iftikharuddin. Welcome. Today I'm going to talk about something that I feel is extremely important, especially if you are considering becoming an artist. Well, it's funny that I say it that way because what I personally believe is that if you're an artist. I believe we're all artistic, and sometimes we have too much junk in the way that's blocking us from that artist. You've got to free that artist. You have to chip away at that stone because that artist is there inside. If you're hearing this, if you're listening to this wherever you are in the world, if you've ever felt that inkling that, hey, I think I'm an artist, you are. And I highly suggest that you begin that process of chipping away today. Because, as we like to say on this Podquest, oh, I like that. Because this is really, it's a Podquest. It's a quest to become that artist, really to become who you actually are. That's what I believe. And something that I've found as of late that I had a hard time accepting and really stepping into was the idea of taking a break. Now, I know I touched on that in the last episode where I gave away my guitar, but there are going to be times on your artistic journey, especially if you're starting right now. Say you went to Guitar Center and you bought a bunch of gear and you got a space in your house where you put up a desk and you've got a laptop and you're running GarageBand or Logic or Ableton or Pro Tools and you're going for it and you feel what I see a lot of people mentioning nowadays, the overwhelm. What is that? It's that idea, and let me explain to you how I experience it, and maybe you have felt the same thing. If I'm sitting on a Sunday night, I could have all of these incredible, super sexy ideas. Like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to write this book, and I'm going to put out this trilogy album, and I'm going to do this and that. And it feels so awesome when I'm talking about it. Come Monday morning when that sun is up, and I'm sitting in front of a blank screen, or sitting in front of my piano, or I'm holding that guitar, it feels almost as if that magic is gone. And I always say, wait, where is that magic that I had on Sunday night where I was going to conquer the world? Why does that disappear with the sunlight? And I think I saw somebody on Reddit talk about this phenomenon, and I think there's a name for it. Maybe by the time of the next episode, I'll have asked Jeeved that to find out what it is. But it's been something that happens usually around the same time as the Sunday scaries. Even though I've been out of high school for quite a long time, I still have that feeling some Sunday nights that I had way back when, where I knew that it was only a matter of hours before the dreaded school week began, whether it was homework or whatever challenge. I knew it was going to happen, and I would let it ruin my Sunday nights. What I've found is this overwhelm, this feeling of when you actually have to put paper to pen and you actually pick up that guitar, you put those strings on and you start, that is a very, very different experience than when you're thinking about doing it. Because for me, For many, many months, I had the idea. I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to start a podcast and it's going to be this and that. It's going to be super duper cool. Actually, putting the rubber to the road is much more difficult. Why? Because I actually had to prepare myself to do it. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put myself out to the lions to be judged. And that's something that I've become used to doing by releasing the music that I have. You're putting your most personal self out there for people who know nothing about you to critique it. And so the idea, what I'm trying to say here, is that trust your process and trust that it's not going to feel as sexy in the morning when you actually have to then begin. It's like that quote I mentioned from Rob Thomas where he talks about how easy it is to start a song and how hard it is to finish it. When you start, when you have all of those cool ideas, I liken it a lot to going into a bookstore. And I'll see this book with this amazing cover and this cool blurb written by one of the employees. And I look at that book, and I know it's going to change my life. The 12 healthy habits to becoming atomic. And I know as soon as I read that book, my life is going to change and I'm going to have all the secrets that I didn't know before. And that book will sit on my shelf for months and months and months. And it loses that magic. It's almost as if when I buy it, okay, I did that. I did that part. But the amount of work that I'm afraid it's going to entail doesn't motivate me then to read the book. And so I have this beautiful, usually expensive book sitting on a shelf. And that's who I am. That's one of my great imperfections. But I've got a great library, and someday, when I want to, I'll read those books. So when you reach that point, say you get all the gear and you get all the stuff, and you feel like there's no motivation, that's okay. You made a huge step, and what I would encourage you to do is that trick when you're trying to get out of procrastinating something or doing something you don't want to do. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Because remember, if this is the first time you're doing this, it's going to entail a lot of Googling, a lot of YouTubing, and a lot of trying to figure out how you can get what you're playing to be recorded in a way that will make you feel proud enough to share it with somebody else. Now me, I have a love-hate relationship with YouTube and with Google because I will fall down a rabbit hole and I will look and gather so much information about how to do something, how to fix something. And the cool thing is that throughout all of this, throughout the years that I've been doing this, I've found some really amazing communities out there for whatever the DAW, your digital audio workstation. There's a community out there of people who will be able to help you and answer every single question. And I guarantee you, I stand by this. Whatever problem you are encountering, however crazy it feels, I promise you, there is somebody else, at least one person, it's probably me, who has had that exact same problem, and there is somebody who showed that person, me, the solution. There is no greater feeling than when you are stuck on something, and it feels like there is something specifically wrong with your computer. Maybe there is. And you have that person who is able to walk you through and say, oh, actually, you have to enable this feature on the track so that you can listen while you're recording. And then maybe the second time or the third time, or for me, the fifth time, I'll start to get it. And the more that I use it, the easier it is. If I ever step away from logic, I use logic. If I ever step away from that, coming back to it, it's like coming back to school after a really long summer break. I almost feel like I forgot how to write cursive. I forgot how to do the math problems. It comes back, but I find that the more often that I use it, even if it's just a few minutes a day, that will come in handy. So embrace the overwhelm. It's okay. This is a step-by-step, day-at-a-time process. And if you have just taken the time to get some gear, or to put new strings on that guitar, or to figure out how to plug your computer how to plug your keyboard into the computer, then you are making amazing progress. If you get overwhelmed, just kick back, do whatever it is you like to do to relax. Maybe it's fall down a dopamine hole of TikTok or whatever it is, and step away, or go for a walk outside. Or if it's freezing cold, go walk in circles in your garage. I'm kidding. But if you're at a point where you are feeling frustrated, it's okay to step back. Maybe watch some YouTube videos on that. And you can also send me an email. I'm sure by the time this comes out, there will be an email in this podcast episode, in the notes. Ask me, and I can probably guide you in a good direction. So it's okay if you're overwhelmed. It's going to happen again and again and again, and that's okay. So stick with it. You are doing absolutely awesome. You are amongst friends. We are here to support you, and it's always the right time to start. And it's too late to quit.